Hello and welcome to Generation In Between, a Xennial podcast where we remember, revisit, and sometimes relearn all kinds of things from being 80s kids and 90s teens. Why do I always say something weird in that intro?
You were so close to the last word.
Close. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Danny.
Hi, I'm Katie, and welcome to a spooky season edition.
Woo-woo.
Hence the costumes, guys. We do not dress like this every day. This is not my real hair. If you were just listening, Danny, tell them what your costume is today.
So for all you Marvel fans out there, I am in a Scarlet Witch costume, which will make sense when we start talking about our episode topic today. And Katie, what are you wearing?
Yeah, you're very topical. I am not. I am Taylor Swift in her Reputation era. So I've got the snake costume. If anyone saw the Reputation tour, she wore it during, I think, Bad Blood, maybe. Someone will correct me. But yeah, that's what this is.
I am not a Swiftie. I think she's okay, and I like some of her music. I'm not a hater either, but I try not to hate on anybody in any industry because everybody has a place for something, right? Everybody's got people. But I do like the most Taylor songs from an album I like is from that album.
Yeah, Reputation's really good. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. Cool. So do you want to tell everybody what we are talking about today?
I'm so excited. So first of all, apologies. We did not have an episode last week because I was sick and I'm still fighting a cold. I still have mucus. So watch out for germs this season, guys. They're nasty. Like I got a cold and it was the worst. It's never a good time to be sick, but you know how sometimes are worse than others. Like I was in the middle of vocal week for Christmas Carol and it's choral music. Like you can't fake your way through that. Plus I was doing rehearsals for a play read I was in last weekend. And so I needed my voice. I needed it. And I had mucus. I had a sore throat and it was just terrible. And I was trying to fight through. And when Wednesday came around, I was like, yeah, no, I can't do 3 hours of recording. It's just my voice. So we did a rewind episode of Tales from the Crypt from last year. Somebody asked me why we don't have guests anymore.
After they heard that one or just
they were like, why don't y'all have guests anymore?
It's mainly tech. I mean, even on that episode, which is such a good episode because of our guest. I'm not even patting myself on the back. Like Ben was just wonderful and it was so interesting and cool and spooky all at the same time. But even on that episode, I could hear some of the tech issues. I think we'll get to a season where maybe in the studio we can have some guests again. The remote stuff we've never gotten right. So,
well, also here's the thing. It's way easier for us to just do it ourselves. And it's the dynamic, number one, because we've been doing this for 2 years now, right?
I want to say December 7th is the 2-year mark.
And we finally have like a flow going. Plus we record at a weird time for most people.
Yeah.
And it's just easier. It takes a lot more legwork. It's just, listen, it's just easier. And also, I'm gonna say something. I got to get this off my chest. Okay, everyone, we love you very much. But listen, please do not come at us with episode suggestions or saying you want to be on our podcast if you've never listened to an episode.
Oh, has that happened?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
They're probably not listening now. So.
Correct. So I'm just like, although I'm going to make a social clip. Because listen, don't tell us what we should have. Because my favorite is when somebody's like, oh my God, you should do an episode on Labyrinth. And I'm like, yeah, we did. Oh, you should have me on to talk about this and that. And I'm like, oh, cool. What's your favorite episode or whatever? And they're like, oh, I don't listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
Then you're not coming on.
Right.
Sorry.
Because it's not just topical. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe, dude.
It's a vibe.
Bruh,
and we've been really lucky that all our guests get the vibe and all of them we've had so far are listeners, except maybe my husband.
What?
He doesn't listen, I don't think. He watches some of the social clips and then he'll be like, what is that all about? So then I'll have to find it in the episode. Like the mistletoe one. I know Troy listens.
Troy listens, but not to every episode.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's like, I can't listen to all of them.
Well, and that's why I think it's fun that you can just pick and choose, especially new listeners we get now.
I know.
They have such a library. I think we're at over 135 episodes on there. A lot of those, not a lot of those, but some of those are Dawson's Creek. But like, if you're just like, oh, I want to listen to Pagers, I want to listen to Lisa Frank, I want to do all spooky all day while I'm decorating my house for Halloween.
Well,
like,
I don't know if
you
we have
can do
all
that.
day, but it's
I mean,
probably a lot. Actually,
we
I don't know.
probably have 8 to 10 hours of
Yeah.
spooky season
Okay,
stuff.
well, there you go. You can.
Yeah.
But also, anyways, so just saying, if you want, it's just easier for us not to have guests.
If you're hearing
Sorry.
this, then we're not talking about you.
And it's just easier for us with research and flow and scheduling.
I totally agree.
It is. Sorry.
1000%.
Anyway, all right. So today I am dressed like a Scarlet Witch, but today we're going to talk about the Blair Witch.
The Blair Witch.
I'm so pumped.
Project.
So we rewatched, and now granted, you had seen this before.
I have, yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to talk. I have so much research on this. There is some controversy around this film, which I already kind of knew about. But I'm going to tell you that what the Blair Witch Project is about, and then we're going to talk just for a few minutes, and then I'm going to go into all my research.
Great.
Okay, so here's the summary that was on the movie poster with Heather's eyes, you know, that famous.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I have that in my notes. When it got to that scene, I was like, oh my God, here it is. Yeah.
Okay, in October of 1994, 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland, while shooting a documentary. A year later, their footage was found.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember when this came out?
Yes.
Okay. This came out in 1999, the summer of 1999.
Yes.
So do you remember when it came out and how everybody thought it was real?
Yes.
Okay. This is why I think this movie is so iconic. Now, you can have people will talk about here or there about if it's a good movie, et cetera, et cetera. The reason I love it is because you can never get away with the way it was done now.
I agree.
This was before social media. It was in the early days of everybody being on the internet, which they took advantage of to their benefit. And I'm going to talk about it. So for those of y'all who were not old enough during that time or don't remember.
Even on Earth at the time.
They were really smart with the marketing for this because I go into the timeline of everything. They put out a fake documentary. Did you watch it or did you peruse some of it?
I perused that.
Okay.
It was cool though.
They put out a fake documentary on the Syfy channel a month before the movie came out.
Oh, wow.
The actors were told not to be out in public and stuff like that. People thought these 3 kids that were in this movie were really dead or missing because you never know for sure what happens to them.
Yeah.
And I remember my sister and I, because it was the summer after my freshman year of college, so I was home, and I remember her and I talking about, and she was living there too, about this, and we were freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And my stepbrother Brandon was like, we were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I remember sitting in their house because they were rooming together at the time, arguing with him that it was real. And we were like, no. And we watched the documentary and we're like, see, and he's like, that is all fake. Like, those are actors. He saw through the whole thing. But the general public really thought it was real. So when I went to the movies,
oh my gosh,
I was terrified. And every time I watch it, I'm like remembering how I felt walking out of that theater thinking it was real.
Yeah. I actually wrote down, imagine watching this thing and thinking it's real.
I did.
Like when I watched it this time,
yeah.
I was like, and I feel like when I saw it, I knew it was
you already
fake.
Know. Yeah, it was out for, I want to say, just a little while before. And then the actors came and started doing publicity and interviews and stuff.
So I think by the time I saw it,
you already knew.
But when I first heard about it, I thought it was real, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So when you saw it in the theater, you already knew.
Yeah.
And see, when I saw it in the theater, I thought it was for sure real.
Wow. That's scary.
Right?
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. So, okay. I'm trying to think where I want to start with this. So I'm just going to start at the beginning of my notes. So disclaimer, when I did all my research was last week when I was sick.
Oh boy. Were you medicated?
Yes.
Okay.
I was on, and I am very sensitive to any kind of medication. Even Dayquil, that's supposed to make you not loopy, makes me loopy. Like I don't know what it is. It's just something in my body. So I'm like, I haven't looked at my notes since then. And I was just perusing them before we started. I'm like, I don't remember typing any of this shit.
Your cold brain did it.
Oh, wait. Let's talk about when we watched it.
Okay.
This time.
Okay.
So, when did you watch this?
It was in the middle of the day yesterday.
Okay.
So like 11 a.m.
Okay.
And it's not very long. It's
No,
like
it's like 90 minutes.
90 minutes or so. And I watched it, so it was like daylight and
Okay, I watched it during the day too because I watched it when I was sick. And it's weird watching it during the day. Were you still scared?
Not really.
I know. It's not as scary.
The part at the end where they go into like the building.
Such a good ending.
I got pretty scared there. Forgetting it was like almost done.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's over. Okay.
That ending, we'll talk more about it later, is one of the best endings. I love open ending.
It was good.
Moments.
It was
like
a good
that.
ending. Yeah.
Because like that lives now. There will be spoilers in this episode.
Yeah.
So
yes,
if you haven't watched it, go watch it and then listen.
Correct.
If you don't want to know. If you like spoilers, some people do.
And you just want to hear about it, here we are.
That ending where he is in the corner.
Mm-hmm. The ending's really good.
Okay.
I forgot how I like at that part, I forgot it was almost the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then when it ended, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that it ends right here.
So yeah, that is like one
good.
of the best endings. All right. So this, like I said, was made in 1999. Well, made in 98, came out in 99. It was directed by two guys, Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. And it starred Heather Donahue, Michael C. Williams, and Joshua Leonard, who played themselves.
Yeah, I was going to say those were their names in the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
I have information and then I have random facts. So feel free to throw in your thoughts about scenes, movies, etc. as we go. So this film was actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for the top budget box office ratio for a mainstream feature film.
Because it was so cheap to make and made so much money?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's going to be a big controversy coming up later, and you'll see why. The film cost $60,000 to make and made back $248 million.
Jeez.
Which is a ratio of $1 spent for every $10,931 made.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's quite a profit margin.
So the actors actually were the ones filming mostly.
Mm-hmm.
They had no training, which a lot of people don't like watching Blair Witch because it's so bumpy.
I said that. I said, what did I say? Camera work makes me, some word, but I think, dizzy.
Because he had no idea how to use it. Like they just
But I
gave
think
it to him.
that's what led to its
I know.
authenticity.
And you know that scene where they're in the car and they're like looking at it? That was real.
Wow.
He's like, I really don't know how to do it. But the funny thing was, one of the video cameras used, because there were several, was bought at Circuit City. And remember Circuit City?
Oh my God, Circuit City.
And after filming was done, the producers returned it and got a refund.
Stop.
I'm serious.
So that's not even coming out of their spending. That's not part of the $60,000 because they got that money back.
Yeah, made their budget go even further.
Hilarious.
And this film, like we were talking about, it made that found footage approach really popular. It popularized it didn't create it. There were lots of other movies that did it. But this is what opened the door for like Paranormal Activity and movies such as that.
Right.
There were 2 sequels made in 2000 and then 2016, but they were flops and they were not good. I remember watching the sequel. It's very disappointing.
Really?
Because you can't this was like a once in a lifetime kind of moment. You can't redo it.
I agree.
Like once the magic was gone, it was done.
Yeah.
And the way they went about filming it and all the things, you can't redo that. So anyway, let's talk about this director and how he got the idea. He actually grew up in Florida. Okay. He grew up around the swamps of Florida, which if you live here, you know. He said he kept having this idea of a stick figure hanging from a tree, like in the woods, swampy woods. And so Ed Sanchez, who was a friend of his from college at UCF.
Hey, UCF.
Yep.
Go Knights.
They worked together to write a 35-page treatment about 3 film students who head into the Maryland woods to make a documentary about a legendary witch. So it was just a treatment. There was no dialogue. There was no it was just basically the idea of what they were going to be doing. So they had 0 dialogue. They wanted it all improvised. Originally, it was supposed to be 3 guys, but Heather's audition was so great that they cast her and said, okay, we have to have you in.
I think that was smart. Well, I have a couple thoughts about it, but
okay,
it's maybe not now. It's maybe later.
Yeah. And there has been some things said about that too, about her and the guys and all the things. But So what they did on their audition, they asked actors to improvise, and they said, pretend to be at a parole hearing and you're explaining to me why you should be let out of prison.
Okay.
What she did was look straight at them and said, I actually probably shouldn't be released.
Oh, that's good.
And they cast her.
They're
I
like,
don't know what else she said, but that was the line that got
that
them.
was the line that got
Her
it.
approach
Yeah.
is what got her in the door there. And the way they did their audition calls, they placed an open call in backstage.
Mhm.
Okay. For what was then titled the Black Hills Project, a non-union production, which will matter, offering pay, travel, and meals. Pay was not specified.
Okay.
Just pay. I mean, $1 could be considered pay.
Right. Right.
Before the shoot began, the actors were given a 1.5-page deal memo with one clause that seemed unlikely that actually came to bite them in the ass. Should the project net Haxon, which was their production company they formed, over $1 million, the actors were entitled to a 1% participation in profits in excess of $1 million.
Okay. But okay.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
But also, they made a lot of money.
Right.
So what's the problem?
And they also agreed for their real names to be used. Well, you'll see. Because they also did not sign things for other rights. So you'll see. There's a reason why you need to be protected by a union.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
Okay. So the filmmaker said the footage they were going to shoot would have basically like 10 minutes of a fictional documentary about their character's disappearance while seeking evidence of the fable Blair Witch. Their idea for what they were going to do changed.
Mm-hmm.
The actors were told one thing and then it changed to being the focus of the film. It was supposed to be just 10 minutes and then they were going to hold on, shoot, I got lost in my notes and my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me see what I wrote here. Okay. Sorry guys, the Dayquil came into my paragraphs and I'm like, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so the actors were focused on pulling off this production that was fully improvised. They had to not only act, but they had to operate the cameras and sound equipment, which they were not trained on at all. And they had to justify why their characters would keep filming as things started to get shitty, right? Mm-hmm. You remember that in the movie.
Yeah.
Especially Heather's, because she was the director in the fake documentary. It wasn't until like a year later. It took them a while to film this and to do to do the editing of this movie because they had a lot of footage. The cast learned that the filmmakers changed course completely and they made their footage into the entire movie.
Wow.
They thought it was going to just be like little snippets here and there.
Got it. So it was like scripted for the rest of the movie, they thought.
I don't know if they even knew what they were going to do. They just said, you're going to have this or whatever.
Okay.
So when the Blair Witch Project got into Sundance, oh wait, where am I at? Yes.
Yeah.
The actors actually paid for all their travel and all their lodging.
I would too if my production company wasn't going to pay for it.
No. I'm saying they weren't offered, even though this movie was completely about them.
Right.
They didn't let them know that, and they had to pay for their own way to get there.
Right.
Which sucks. But there is more of that sucks that comes on. Speaking of filming, it only took them 8 days to film all the footage, which is pretty interesting. And it's funny because you think they're in the middle of nowhere, really just steps away with civilization.
Okay.
So you think, oh God, they're literally, and now they did go wander and stuff, but it didn't take them long to get back to civilization. And the way they did this was kind of cool. They filmed it. They had a base camp house set up in Germantown, Maryland, and they operated 24/7 for those 8 days. So they had like the film crew was in the house, all the other stuff. The first guy that dies, he went back there for a day or so.
Oh, okay.
It took, I said a year. It took 2 years of editing.
Wow.
To make, because they wanted to make all the footage they took look real.
Mm-hmm.
Which
is funny that you would have to edit to be real
when it is real. I know.
That is funny because it was giving like 1997 home video vibes,
which is what they wanted,
right?
And I think it pulled through. The actors, like I said, were the ones who operated the cameras and sound equipment, and they used GPS. Now, remember, this is late 90s GPS, guys.
Right?
It was like a handheld Garmin,
whatever.
To what they did, they had walkie-talkies and they'd get directed to locations in the woods that were marked with flags or milk crates, and they had notes there and supplies and food. The directors would leave them stuff.
Okay.
So, and they would leave whatever footage they took there and then pick up that stuff, look at their notes, and then go do what they were supposed to do.
That's fun.
I know. It is
I
fun.
like that.
So the notes would say things like, hold on, I gotta get I'm on Katie's computer, guys. The notes would say things like, Heather, you're absolutely sure that to get out of this mess, you go south. Don't take no for an answer. Or it would say like, Josh, somewhere along the way today, you've had it with this bullshit. And that's all they had. They had to just improvise. Now, if you are an actor out there, do you like to improvise? Are you an improv person?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I've done improv like as its own thing and enjoyed it. But like if something happens on stage and I have to, I wouldn't say I like it.
Okay. Because I feel like most actors are one of two ways. Most people either enjoy improv or actors don't like it. They want a script.
Yeah. I think
like
I think I like both if it's within the premise of it. So like if I know it's a scripted show, then I'm going to learn exactly.
But you don't want to have to improv.
But I want to have to improv.
Got it.
Whereas like if it's improv, then don't give me too much of a script. Like just give me the basics so that it can be what it's going to be. I think as long as like they don't cross boundaries.
Well, because it's very different acting skill set, which if you're not an actor, it is a very different skill set, I think, with performing to perform from a script and then to perform improv, because improv is not just being able to make things up.
Right.
It is literally a skill you have to hone in on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's mostly about listening to the other person who's in a scene with you.
Totally.
And I noticed, because I've taken several improv classes, and I do enjoy improv, and I don't mind when shit goes awry on stage unless it's a prop falling on me, which happens quite a bit.
The thing that you hate actually happens the most.
I know. I don't mind improv. I like a good improv moment on stage that in a scripted time. I think it's fun because I think that's the joy of live theater. But I get why it causes some people anxiety, because when you are in a mindset of a scripted performance, to all of a sudden have to flip is weird.
I think for me too, like I really, and I know you do too, I work really hard on my characters for scripts. So if I have to improv in the middle of a show, that's Katie having to think on her feet, and that throws me off. I have a lot of trouble getting back into character, like in the moment.
Because the tricky part is improving as your character.
Right. That's what's hard.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
Even if you can like make it look that way, my head is
in Katie
is spinning.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it takes a lot of brain power, and it takes practice. It's a skill.
It definitely takes practice.
It takes skill,
and sometimes it doesn't go well.
Well, and I noticed a few times there's a few things like common errors that people who are new to improv do that I noticed happened as they were filming.
Interesting. Like what?
Like, for instance, you are never supposed to answer a question with another question.
Right.
Okay, that's one thing. And I noticed I should have wrote it down, but again, Dayquil, guys.
maybe you did. You're gonna find it in like a month, and
but
be like, what is this?
I want to say it was Mike who, when Heather was like, why are you want to do this? And he said, well, why do you want to do this?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the first thing you're not supposed to do.
Yep.
Even if you say something like, I don't know, because I just feel like doing it, that's better than flopping it back, because what you're doing is your partner is giving you something and you're not accepting it.
Right.
And that's like, I can't remember the analogy that my first improv teacher told me, but it's like you're being given a gift by your scene partner and it's your job to give them one back.
Agree.
But if you ask them a question, or if you say, why? Or like if they're like, okay, we're going on vacation to the Antarctic, whatever. I was gonna say plantain. That's that is a fruit.
The Antarctic region?
Was I gonna say frontier?
Maybe.
No.
Were you gonna say plane?
No. I don't know. I said plantain. But if I said, for instance, if we're in an improv moment,
say it.
And I said, we're gonna go on a vacation to the Antarctic plantain, you would say something.
I would. I'd be like, oh, that sounds so great. I'm gonna pack my sunscreen.
Right. And the worst thing, or be like, well, that sounds delicious. The worst thing would be for you to say, why?
Or there's not plantain. Well, that's the other part.
Yeah.
Is that you can't deny what's
making it a
is
negative.
the other rule, right?
So they did do that a few times, and I did notice that. But anyway, okay.
But maybe that makes it more realistic. I don't know.
They had so
Also, I hated Mike. Were we supposed to hate Mike? He was so annoying.
You were supposed to feel some kind of way about all of them. I don't think it mattered what.
I didn't feel as strongly about the other two.
Yeah. So anyway, they had a lot of freedom, and which that's something about improv that makes people who are used to scripted acting nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the freedom because when you're scripted, you're being told what to do.
Sure.
And even if your director gives you a lot of freedom, you're still tied to the script.
Absolutely.
And some directors don't want you to veer from it at all, and some give you a little more freedom, with your movement or whatever.
Right. Absolutely.
But
it's the same as like with writing, like the creative stuff I do for myself, I can't do in a space where I'm being given directions.
Yeah.
And if I want to succeed at both, you kind of have to flip the skill set.
Right.
And not everybody in writing even can do both.
Can
be like a hire me to write stuff writer and a creative writer. And same with acting. Improv's not for everyone, although I would argue you should try it before you know
I think so. I think even if you don't like it, it makes you a better performer to at least take a few classes.
I agree.
You don't have to keep doing it. Like some people do it as a hobby.
Yeah,
you know? So anyway, so they had a lot of freedom. The directors only intervened if they felt like they needed to tone things down.
Okay.
Like if they were getting too much, too extra, that's the only time they would intervene. Some of the fake fighting was genuine.
Oh my gosh.
So, as would happen. The directors and crew did pull like gags on them, like pranks.
Ooh.
That they did not tell them about ahead of time in order to get genuine fear reactions from them. For instance, like the shaking of the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that scene?
Yes.
They didn't know that was going to happen, so their fear was genuine. The children's voices that you hear, that also was something that they just threw in there. So they told them, like, we're going to throw stuff at you that you're not going to know is coming. Okay. So some of their fear is genuine fear.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they got that on camera. Here's a random fact. Speaking of the sounds of children, those sounds are the sounds of kids who live across the street from Eduardo Sanchez's mom.
Aw.
All right. They recorded them playing outside, reading, and just talking like gibberish kid talk,
Mm-hmm.
And the production team set up 3 boom boxes with that audio playing outside the tent during the scene. And Michael C. Williams said that was the most terrifying moment for him during filming.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't know it was coming and they could hear it all around.
Right. It's not just like from one direction, like now we would say someone was playing it from their phone.
Right.
But it's not even from like one speaker. It sounds like you're surrounded by these creepy children noises.
Kids are creepy kids is like
in the middle of the night when you can't see them and all you can do is hear them. That's really scary.
No,
That's
ma'am.
terrifying.
Creepy kid stuff is creepy.
No.
Here's another random fact too. The sign that, like I said, I have random stuff thrown in here.
I love
like
it.
It's just
in her notes is like all caps.
I know.
Random facts.
It's literally what it says. I don't know, guys.
We don't know.
It's organized chaos. That's what it is. The sign scene for Burkittsville at the beginning of the movie has been stolen 3 times, probably more since the time of whatever report I read. And one of those times was when the movie opened at the theater, in the local theater. People, it's a real sign. Burkittsville is a real place.
That's what I was about to say. So is that a real place?
Burkittsville, Maryland is a real place, and that sign was real, and it keeps getting stolen.
Okay.
So, why not?
Halloween pranksters.
Okay, speaking of the tent, although Heather, Mike, and what's his name? Josh, they had to pitch and take down the tent they slept in. They didn't have to carry it from location to location. So it wasn't really in their backpacks. It was other stuff. But they did have to put it up and take it down themselves. So when you see them filming that and they look kind of silly and clueless, that's valid.
Okay.
But the crew carried it for them other places. I just thought that was interesting because I was like, ugh, but if they had to sleep in the tent, I'm out. Nah.
No. Did they have to sleep overnight out there? Ooh.
Yeah, gross. Another random fact, excuse me. The scene where they're sitting around the campfire, like that first night, was probably the most expensive few seconds in the whole film because, if you remember, Josh was singing the theme song to Gilligan's Island. so they had to pay for the rights for
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
that. Isn't that funny?
That
and
is
he only
funny.
sings it for a few seconds,
Right.
but
It's
you have to.
copyright.
It's
Yeah.
copyright. So, so that was the most expensive moment in the whole movie.
That's hilarious. I
know.
thought you were going to mean like something to do with the fire setup or like the safety precautions or something.
No.
Oh my gosh. Gilligan's Island. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the Blair Witch, you don't see her.
Right.
And that's part of the fearful like vibe for you. I think is you never see anything scary.
Right.
Like in action.
No.
Like you see the
see
bloody
them
thing and you see the
scared
sticks
and you see
scary images, but you never see spirits,
or something happening.
Right.
Right.
You were supposed to see the Blair Witch in the movie.
Oh.
So you were supposed to see her when they're running out of the tent. And I'm trying to remember what scene this was, but Heather's screaming, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And they see something, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
The camera was supposed to pan to the left where you were going to briefly see a woman wearing a white gown way off in the distance. So you're supposed to just briefly see her. But whoever was filming forgot to do that. So the scene, they just didn't reshoot it because they figured, well, whatever. Like,
we just totally forgot about the Blair Witch.
Yeah. And I don't know. I couldn't figure out if it was one of the guys holding the camera or if it was one of their cameramen.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was probably Josh or Mike.
I think that's okay though, because that makes the Blair Witch whatever you think she is in your imagination.
Right.
Which I think is much more scary. Although like a jump scare of like a woman wearing white off in the distance would have been scary too. I just think it's funny that it wasn't like editorially they changed their mind. It's like, no, literally we just forgot. And we didn't know till later and it was too late because like we weren't there anymore.
Literally.
So we didn't go back.
That'd be me. If I was ever filming something, I'd be like, oh, whoops.
Like, well, it's not going in. Not going in.
Not going in.
We're done.
But another thing that film that was scary that you do see is after Josh disappears and they get that bundle and Heather undoes it. It's bloody and there's teeth and hair.
Oh God, that was so gross.
Yeah. Hold on. I was trying. Okay. The scene where she does that. Hold on. What did I type? Oh my God, y'all. Never again am I going to do research medicated. Oh, okay. So remember how she didn't open it right away and then she goes back? So the production designer, his name is Ben Rock. He was watching to see her reaction when she looked inside, but she didn't. She just threw it and didn't look at it.
Oh,
okay. And he was like, okay, shit. So he went back to the production team and was like, y'all, the bitch did not look at it. And they're like, okay, y'all, you're going to have to tell her to go back. So they had to tell her, go back, find a way to go back and make it make sense and look in it.
Okay.
And so that was a genuine thing. Like she was freaked out and didn't open it.
Okay.
And then they made her go back. The teeth inside were real teeth.
What?
Yep. They got them from Eduardo Sanchez's dentist.
I thought you were going to say his mom because his mom just keeps popping up.
And the hair in there was really Josh's hair. It was a clump of his hair.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. And they said also some of the teeth were from Castings Lisa Dane. Now, I don't know if it was like one of her teeth. I don't know what the fuck that was mean or she just had teeth laying around. But anyway, those were real teeth in there. Well, can you imagine this guy, Eduardo, going to his dentist being like, can I have some teeth? like, can I have some teeth? I'm filming this scary movie.
Weird. And like, what if somehow you found out that you also had the same dentist as Eduardo?
I know.
And then do you like have a claim to your teeth in the movie? Like, are you like, I need some of that money because you used my teeth?
Yeah. And I always forget how big teeth really are.
Yeah, they are big.
Because they go deep down in your gums. You only see the top little part, but the rest are really big. So I remember her opening up and I was like, that's a human tooth?
All right. Are we sure this isn't like
ginormous
animal of some kind?
I mean, we are animals.
True.
All right.
Okay, and then Josh's hair. Okay. That makes sense.
She's double checking my notes.
Double checking. No, I just was remembering. I was like, which person's hair? But Josh's hair.
Josh, the long hair guy.
Okay.
Okay. So the house at the end of the movie.
Yes.
Let's chat about this house.
All right. Scary.
Here's some real life facts about it. The house used as the Rustin Parr house for the end scenes was the Griggs house. It was located at Patapsco Valley State Park, which was 50 miles east of Burkittsville, where they did some filming. It was built sometime in the 1800s and then renovated in the early 20th century. The house was abandoned when they found it. It had been vandalized and kind of falling apart for several decades. And after they used it in the Blair Witch, the Maryland Department of Natural Resources announced in 99 the house was going to be taken down because it was a public nuisance and a safety hazard, especially because so many people were going to find
Now
it.
they're trying to get to it.
And
yeah.
it's dangerous. I mean,
Of
it was a
course.
hazard and it was, yeah.
Like they probably shouldn't have been in there, let alone
Right.
random people all
And
the
it's
time.
a state park property. So if somebody gets
Right.
hurt, they're held liable.
Totally.
But guess what happened? Blair Witch fans launched a fundraiser campaign and petition to save the house, and the state agreed to grant the Griggs house a reprieve pending further investigation. But guess what?
The investigation found it needed to be condemned.
Yeah, it was short-lived. I mean, they did get a reprieve and they waited. They investigated it more, and the state did, in fact, took it down. And they didn't tell anybody. They didn't have a public announcement. So they just hurried up and did it in 2000.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't
They didn't
blame
want
them.
the fanfare. And then like Blair Witch people laying there.
I was going
like,
to say,
you know,
people like protesting inside
coming
the
in
house.
costume
Or,
and,
yeah.
you know.
No.
So they think that probably happened because of all the trespassing in the house by
Okay.
ghost hunter teams and thrill seekers. And of course, souvenir collectors who want a little bit, like a brick.
A brick. I'm telling you. Yes. Please, someone bring me a brick.
So the inside of the house, you know how you saw graffiti?
Mhm.
A lot of that was real. It was already there.
Okay.
But they did have to repaint some of the walls prior to shooting. The child handprints on the wall, the bloody handprints, were made by two nephews of
Eduardo?
No, not Eduardo.
Okay.
Production assistants.
Okay.
They got their nephews in this abandoned house.
That's cute.
I
With
mean,
red paint?
Yeah, red paint.
I don't know.
Press
I mean,
them on the
I think
walls.
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Would you let your kid go in this creepy ass house and paint their hands bloody?
If it was the middle of the day, sure.
It's the middle of the day.
I mean, I guess it depends where it is in the house. If it's literally through the front door and do
downstairs.
it, yeah.
It was, they saw
Maybe
it right
not
when they were
then.
going up the stairs.
Maybe not then.
Isn't that right? I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, this is just a totally random fact that I found that I thought was funny. The word fuck is used in this movie 154 times.
Wow. I mean, it is in there a lot.
I didn't even notice.
I did. Because the first time I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess they do use that word in here.
I just didn't even notice. I didn't think it was 154 times.
I think it was. Yeah.
I mean, no, it was. I just,
You're like,
I didn't notice.
It's a fact,
yeah.
but okay.
I just didn't notice. I was like,
I love it.
okay. But I'm thinking too, though, if you were filming me in a scary situation, I would say fuck way more times than that.
Like if I was going through a haunted house, even though I know it's fictional, like a commercialized haunted house, not a real haunted. A real haunted house is another story.
Listen.
But a commercialized one where I know it's like scare actors paid, I would still say fuck all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So let alone like in a film.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously. Anyway, I just thought that was funny because I do drop the F-bomb way too much. And I'm in a show with more kids, so I really have to rein it in.
You got this.
Thankfully, most of them know me, and they're like, "Oh, Miss Danny."
They're like, yeah, she's harmless. Don't
sorry,
worry about
parents.
her.
I'm trying so hard. Okay, so let's talk about that iconic shot. And any thoughts you have, throw them in whenever. We can go over.
On.
We'll go over at the end.
If we miss any, then I will.
So that iconic shot of her close up.
Oh yeah.
So this is another funny
good.
one. It was unintentional. It was not supposed to be filmed the way it was.
Really?
Yeah. She planned to have her whole face in the frame, but she zoomed in the camera too much and didn't know.
Right.
But the directors thought that the closeness and like all her tears and her boogies like falling out her nose and really added to like the realism of the scene. So they kept it.
I mean, it's iconic. Oh, and I think if it was her whole face, like it wouldn't be as memorable.
Be the same. And because it transmits the feeling of fear that she's just trying to hurry up and record it.
Right.
And and she's crying and she's snotty. She's not wiping her nose because she's so scared and she's freezing. I mean, it's the best.
It's really good.
And what does she say? I think I wrote it somewhere where here we are, cold, hungry, and hunted.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes, that is what she said.
So good. Hunted.
Oof.
Oh, I know. Okay. And also another fact about the house, again, randomly written. Heather and Mike were not told what they were going to find in the basement of the house when they got there. So Mike was just told to run up and down the stairs yelling for Josh before he went to the basement and to keep Heather behind him as far as he could.
Okay.
That's all they were told. And then when Mike reached the basement, 2 production assistants grabbed him and said, just stand in the corner. So when Heather got there, they grabbed her, gently put her camera on the floor while gesturing her to stop screaming. And then that was it. That was how they filmed the scene.
Okay.
However, due to sound problems that we know well,
Oh, yes.
they had to film it twice.
Oh,
I know.
That stinks.
I know. Heather Donahue said the first time they did it, she was so scared, she started hyperventilating, and they had to calm her down before they shot it again.
Oh.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that is fucking scary.
Yeah.
Especially if you're filming and you don't know that they told him to run far ahead of you.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mike, where are you going? Mike, where are you? Mike, where are you? Like, that's genuine.
Yeah.
So anyway. Well, I don't know. I don't know what is edited. That was their first take and what was their second take.
Right. Exactly.
Because the sound is weird.
It is weird.
Because they're running around and it's supposed to be like, but can you imagine how scary that would be?
That'd be really scary.
Like you just show up and he's in the corner and they just gently take the camera and put it on the ground and go, like,
yeah,
stop screaming.
Oh my God.
No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
They did actually shoot several endings though.
Okay.
And you can find them on, I think they have them on YouTube. They used to have them on like the DVD. They would have the extra endings. They all happen in the basement. They had 2 versions of Mike standing in the corner. One, he was facing backwards like you see, and then one he's faced forwards, so you see his face. Yeah. And one he's surrounded by hanging stickman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
I know. One, Mike was dead and hanging from a noose, which I'm glad they did not have that. That's just too much.
No, thank you.
And then one, they had Mike levitating amongst branches and the stickman.
That would have been cool too.
I know. Now, I don't know how they would. I don't know.
The way that they were filming it, how would they have done that?
I don't know. But you can see 4 of those on the DVD or the Blu-ray.
I feel like YouTube. When that first came out, that was a thing. I feel like maybe I've seen
alternate endings.
Yeah.
But I think the one they picked was way better than all
agree.
Those. I think
maybe that's
less
why
is more.
I didn't remember that was going to be the ending because maybe I've seen all the endings.
Maybe you saw the others.
Yeah, but I do like the one they picked.
Yeah, I think it's the creepy vibe of what you don't see.
Agree.
That is because your imagination gets the best of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The actors actually, speaking back to improv, they were told to stay in character. So like they're not themselves in Blair Witch. They have their names, but they created their whole character, whatever. So they said stay in character the whole time you're filming. Joshua Leonard said this. Tensions got high, we got hungry, we got uncomfortable, and we hurt each other's feelings. So we came up with a safe word for whenever we had to break character and remind ourselves this was just a job. You know what their safe word was?
Let me think. No, I don't know.
Taco.
Okay.
But he said they regretted that by about day 3 because it kept reminding them how hungry they were.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of my notes is when they were putting the food in the cart and it's like the cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they like zoom in on cinnamon. And I was like, ew, but also spooky. I don't know why.
Cinnamon is spooky?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. It's fall spooky-ish.
That's so funny. Kay's like, cinnamon's so scary.
You guys.
She just doesn't like it.
I'm going to any insult I can throw at cinnamon, I'm going to.
You know what? I saw a funny, like a pun costume that reminded me of cinnamon. This girl had on a bra over her clothes and she had all these different spices in it and it said Spice Rack.
Oh, that's funny.
I love me a pun costume. All right, moving back on. Okay, so let's talk about, did you look at the fake website I sent you?
Yes.
Okay. So 6 months before the movie came out, which is a long, or was it before the movie came out at Sundance? They had a whole fake website that came out.
Wow.
And y'all have to remember, this was in the late 90s. Mm-hmm. This was just in the beginning where the general public is starting to be online.
Yes.
Okay. So not everybody was, and not everybody could be online every day. It cost money every minute you were online.
And even fewer people had the ability to know how to do a website.
Yes, exactly. So, they had this whole website. You can still access it. We'll put the link in our show notes.
Okay.
And you can still access, I don't know how they did this, that it's still in its original format. Maybe they just redid it. But so many people thought it was real because, again, 6 months before the movie comes out, that's a long time, that a New York police officer who used to work in Maryland contacted the filmmakers and said he would help them look into this disappearance.
Because of the website.
Yeah.
Not because of the movie.
Right. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So of course they had to tell them like, oh, it's fake. This is like our marketing plan, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, they created an entire mythology about the Blair Witch. The Blair Witch myth did not exist. They created it. It's not like some lore from anywhere. They made it all up. They had pictures, they had background. You can see it. And this is also in their fake documentary. They came up with all this lore. Plus, they had all this information about the quote unquote disappeared filmmakers.
Yeah.
They had pictures of Heather and Josh and Mike and all this information about them. And this created this whole scariness before the film even came out.
Right.
And so the website was first.
Okay.
Then they had the documentary. A little while after that, the website created so much buzz at the Sundance Film Festival that at the very first screening, there was a line around the block of people waiting to see it.
Wow. That is some wild marketing.
I know.
And like wildly good marketing.
Once it premiered at Sundance, Artisan saw like all the hype and they bought it. So Artisan Entertainment bought the movie and the rights to it. So once they bought it at the Sundance, they tried to play into that real life angle as much as they could, which is when they made the fake documentary that was on Syfy channel.
Artisan did?
Yes.
That makes sense.
They told the actors not to be at the film premieres. They were even listed as presumed dead on IMDb, or I guess it's like presumed deceased.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there a lot of people presumed deceased on IMDb?
I don't know.
What?
Yeah, and their parents started getting like phone calls of condolences and like cards and stuff because they really thought people were even their family friends thought they were dead.
Oh my gosh,
or presumed dead. A week before the film's release. Okay, I was trying to remember the timeline. The fake documentary was released a week before the film came out in theaters. Okay, which is smart because I remember watching it and then we went and saw it soon after.
And you don't have as much time to vet it.
Yeah.
Like the average person couldn't have anyway because of the resources available on the internet, which weren't many. But like a journalist could dig in or something like that. But if they only have a week, they're not going to figure it all out in time.
And they labeled it as nonfiction.
I don't get that.
That's a lie, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But they labeled it as nonfiction. It was on the Syfy channel. And granted, guys, this was before streaming. So they advertised it was going to come on this day at this time. And that was it. That was your chance to watch it unless you videotaped it or whatever. I guess, did we have these like,
CD
like
burners?
TiVo or whatever then? I don't think we did.
I don't think so. I think that was early 2000s.
I think you're right. So anyway, it's called The Curse of the Blair Witch. You can find it on YouTube. I sent the link to Katie.
Yeah. It's good.
You can rent it on Amazon, which I think is what I did.
Well,
I know.
I actually watched it on YouTube. I actually watched Blair Witch on YouTube too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I rented it.
I had to pay for it. But normally I pay on Amazon Prime.
I know.
And
look at you.
I don't know. I think because I watched what you sent me on.
Oh, and it was like you were already there.
And it like showed me and I was like, so I thought maybe it was free. So I clicked on it and it was like, no, it's $1.99 or something.
Oh,
and
it's
I was
cheaper.
like, okay. So I just watched it on there.
Well, there you go, guys.
Good job, YouTube. You got me.
Way to go. They
for
got
$2 more.
You always get Katie with a quick convenience. Just $2 click. Got it. They got me too. So whatever. Yeah. All right. The actors actually, they didn't. Here's the thing. They didn't like make them stay, but they advised them strongly to lay low for months.
Ooh.
So people didn't know they were alive and they didn't want them to know they were actors.
Right.
Okay. So financially they were like, well, it'll be worth it because there's like all this buzz already. It's going to be so great. But unfortunately, the opposite happened to them.
Oh.
Well, you got to think. They were told to lay low for months, so they couldn't work.
Right.
Okay. They didn't get a lot of money up front. They did get paid a little bit. So they have to stay in hiding.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing? And then they got super screwed on their images being used. I'm just gonna tell you that now. Um, a funny effect of this movie coming out, the 1999-2000 hunting season was actually suffered really badly due to this film, which for people who love animals are like, yay, but sometimes hunting helps overpopulation as well. The movie was so popular that fans all over the country were hiking into the wilderness to shoot their own documentaries about whatever. So as a result, most of the wildlife was scared and didn't come out, and so
I gotcha.
hunters
So
couldn't hunt.
It wasn't that hunters were scared and not
Oh,
hunting.
no. It was because so many people were trying to.
Other people were out there, therefore animals are scared, therefore nothing to hunt.
Right.
Got it.
So, I mean, on one hand, if you love animals, you're like, yay. But on the other hand, I don't know if that caused an overpopulation problem. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't like hunting. I think it's awful and terrible. So that's just my personal opinion. All right, moving on. I like to throw those PSAs in.
You're like, and here we go. And just forget I said anything.
Here we go. We're going to talk about some of the shitty stuff that happened to these actors.
I can just imagine. I've never heard this for sure. So I'm excited to hear
No, it's not good.
Okay.
It's not good. Okay, so when the film hit 100 mil at the box office, Artisan, instead of sending the actors some big nice check, they sent them all a fruit basket.
What?
Yeah, I know. They still, when it hit 100 million, the actors still had not received a solitary dollar from Artisan at all.
Wow.
Yes. But here's the thing. They signed no contracts about their rights and all that, except for that one little thing I told you. They were not part of a union, and they were not compensated fairly for their work and the success that really they created mostly by themselves. I mean, they weren't just the actors. They were the crew.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't the entire crew, but you know what I'm saying? They filmed and did sound.
They were kind of the writers too.
Exactly. Heather Donahue told a story in an interview about how her 1984 Toyota broke down on her way to a temp job right underneath a giant billboard advertising the movie.
Wow.
Yep. And then Michael C. Williams said his wife had a check bounce at the grocery store while the movie was sitting at number 1 in the box office.
That's nuts. I hate that so much.
Yeah, it's really bad. And the actors, I have more on this in a minute, have a lot of not good feelings about this movie. So I felt kind of shitty that I like watched it again.
Right.
Because every time we watch it, they're not. Anyway.
I paid to watch it.
I know. So that's just a little bit of that. After Artisan dropped the whole "are they really dead?" like, I don't want to say persona, but vibe they had created, the actors started hitting the press circuit, doing interviews, going on things. Their sudden fame kind of made their slender bank accounts much more obvious because they're still not getting paid. Now they got paid for appearances and stuff, but that's not that much.
No.
So Heather said in a quote, "I had an interview with the Philadelphia Inquirer where I said something like, I am the poorest famous person in America right now. And Artisan reached out to tell me I couldn't say that."
Yep.
Well, because you got to think, Artisan, they had no binding ties to the actors. They didn't sign a contract with them.
Right.
And they're, I mean, if they were doing the right thing, but this is capitalism and business, and people are not nice. So they did, at the end of the summer of 99, I know you're about to say something, but let me say this because it might answer your question. The actors received a modest performance bump, but it was in the low 5 figures.
Ooh.
Yeah. Casting directors bypassed them as actors because they thought they were themselves in the movie. It was very confusing because they used their own name, but they had created a character. Right. But they thought that was them as a person.
Right. So they weren't watching it. Casting directors weren't like, wow, they did a really good acting job.
Right.
It's like they were just them.
Right. Exactly. So it kind of hurt them trying to keep pursuing their careers.
Right.
Plus, they had been on hold for all these months, making no money.
Jeez.
And thinking it like running up credit card debt, thinking, oh, well, hey, I'm going to get these big checks. I'm going to be okay.
Right.
And then it's not happening.
Yeah.
So when merch was released for the sequel, the following year, they were using the actors' images and not compensating for that.
Oof.
They didn't have permission. They didn't give them any, royalties, but they were using their faces
Yikes.
in the movie. So on the eve of the October 2000 release of Blair Witch 2, which by the way, wasn't that long after the first one came out, Heather rallied up the other two guys to sue Artisan. And 3 years later, it took that long, in February 2004, they arrived at a $300,000 settlement that would be paid to each of them over several years, which is really nowhere close to the estimated 35 to 40 million that was earned by Haxan Films just in that year.
Wow.
Haxan was the production company the directors founded,
Right.
just to remind you. Their images were also no longer allowed to be used, supposedly.
Yeah.
They still did.
How do you enforce that?
Exactly.
Because you
So you were
can't
going to say something,
see
but I wanted to say that.
I don't remember what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
I
No,
thought-
it's okay. You might have covered it. That might be why.
So that's shitty. And then just last year in 2024, Lionsgate, who bought Artisan or acquired them in 2003. So
Okay.
Lionsgate took over for Artisan. This is where it gets even yuckier. They announced they were going to reboot the Blair Witch Project for its 25th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
All three actors were pissed. And they wrote an open letter to them requesting meaningful consultation when they did it, and requesting radioactive and residual payments equivalent to the sum that would have been allotted through, if they were with a union, through SAG or AFTRA, had we proper union or legal representation when the film was made.
Yeah.
Because think about it. They were broke college kids.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, let's do this independent film. Okay, cool, whatever. Not thinking.
Right.
I should probably protect myself
Mm-hmm.
in case. So it sucks because part of it's on them.
Yes, technically.
But
yes and no.
But the directors made their bank.
Right.
They were pocketing all kinds of money and they sure weren't hurting.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up selling the whole entire film.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, it's a good reminder and telling our kids.
Protect yourself and your creation.
No matter what it is. I mean, even with my book.
Yeah.
I'm doing, this is unusual, but I was signed without an agent.
Yeah.
Because of how I found them through a friend who publishes with them.
Yeah.
And I had to get representation a different way. I didn't necessarily need an agent because I didn't need someone to help me get published, but I needed someone to help me with the fine print and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's easy enough to just be like, oh, they seem nice and I'm just gonna, but it's that's fine. Maybe they are, but be safe. Yeah.
Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do artists deserve to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Dot. Anyway, and it didn't help their career. It hurt them actually. So okay, speaking of the movie's directors, the directors and producers had their own little financial settlement from Artisan. Of course, they made pretty much. They declined to comment on the actors' statements besides just generic things. So this is the last thing they said in 2024. 25 years later, who would have thought we'd still be talking about the Blair Witch Project, a film made by a group of total Hollywood outsiders. We are hopeful Heather, Josh, and Mike find a satisfying conclusion to their conversations with Lionsgate. For us, this anniversary provides an exciting opportunity to celebrate the movie and legacy with fans.
Okay.
Yuck. How about pay them?
Yeah, instead of we hope they all figured it out.
I know.
Independent of us, make a statement.
I know.
Be it's successful in large part because of these three.
Exactly.
Let's give them what they deserve.
Exactly. And so we're going to talk more about our feelings on the movie and just the movie itself, because I want to get all this out of the way before we jump back into the fun. So I'm going to tell you what they're doing now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So Michael C. Williams, he actually left the entertainment world in the late 2000s and he became a high school guidance counselor.
Cute.
But he actually did recently come back to acting last year. So he's starting to dabble his feet in the acting world again. But that's what's going on with him. Joshua Leonard, he is the only one that did stay working in the movie world since Blair Witch as an actor and a filmmaker, despite all the chaos. He still kept working.
Okay.
Heather has had the more interesting path.
Uh-oh.
So she left acting in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
She became a medical marijuana grower,
Wow.
which she chronicled in a book she wrote in 2012 called Grow Girl.
I love it.
She changed her name actually in 2020 to Ray Hance, ReiHance, because she wanted to further distance herself from the Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
I just referenced her by the name that people went by in interviews. So
Yeah.
anyway, that is now her official legal name. She actually moved to Freedom, Maine and worked in local politics, but she had a little kerfuffle. In April of this year, she was removed from her appointed position on the town's select board. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Due to residents saying that she violated the town charter because she spray painted 25 to 30 orange blazes on trees along a local road that is the subject of a larger municipal dispute. They said she was using it for her own political statement.
Okay.
I don't know what she was protesting, something about trees and roads. And
so she was doing it out of protest.
That's what they were saying. And they were like, you're supposed to not, like, you're using your position.
You're like,
she
should
had,
be neutral.
She had some other stuff people didn't like, but that's what got her removed.
Sometimes it's the most mundane things. I'm not saying that like spray painting trees is like fine, don't worry about it, but like it's just like of all the things that could unseat you from a position.
But 30 trees, that's a lot.
Yeah.
On like a big main road. And you're supposed to be, I don't know, whatever. You know, people in those little local towns and HOAs want to be
If that's like their biggest problem, then good for them.
I know.
Hey.
So, okay, that was all the yucky I had to just get out of the way before we go back and we can just talk about the
Chat
film
about it.
as a
Yeah.
So, tell me your thoughts that we haven't covered. Wait.
2 kids at a time.
Oh, I'll wait till the end. I was going to ask you your rating, but I'll ask you at the end when we're done.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
I just said the fashion and the hair are very 1994.
Oh my God. For real.
Like so much. Oh, you didn't really touch on it, but like the other people that they interviewed at the beginning, the townspeople, who were they?
They were actors.
They were, okay, so they were like paid actors?
So I have notes on this. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Yes. Wait a minute.
There weren't that many. There were like.
So I took notes.
The lady with the kid.
Yeah. Hold on. I have that. The movie used a mix of townspeople and paid actors. The 3 main actors, they were not told who was who.
Okay.
Like after the director kind of planted the actors amongst real life townspeople to give it a realistic film. I'm trying to see. So I think the lady was an actor.
The older lady?
The one with the kid.
The one with the kid was an actor?
And the old man, I think, was an actor.
He seemed like an actor to me. Of the 3.
Yeah.
I'm sure the older lady was too.
So some of them were real townspeople that they just told them what was going on.
Okay.
Which was really, they were all actors pretty much, but some of them were professional actors.
Correct. Some of them were probably hired.
Yeah.
And some of them were just like, hey, if they talk to you, here's what the premise is. Okay. That was my question. Oh, they were talking about how the witch or whatever, or the guy it was a guy who killed 2 kids at a time. But then they said 7 kids died. Weird, right?
Yeah. Well, that he would take them 2 at a time. And one escaped. Yeah.
That's what it was.
One got away, which is how they knew. Well, you know what? They talked about that more in the fake documentary.
Okay.
One of them escaped and got away and told them what he did.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
When they're drinking the scotch in the hotel room.
I know.
That was, I mean, obviously they were probably
they really
did
get
scotch.
Drunk. Yeah.
Scotch. Oh, scotch is terrible.
So the funny thing is today too, in that documentary, you know how they had the fake news clips?
Yes.
So in Curse of the Blair Witch, the fake documentary, those got me because they seemed so real.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did I think that was so real? Like you can't fake a news clip.
Yeah.
Like I was like you can't say, you totally can. But I remember my sister and I watching it being like, oh my God, see, Brandon? It's on the news.
Whatever news this is.
But again, that's a product of the time because you couldn't go online and find news.
No.
Like daily news. Going
like
online
at a certain time, the news came on.
Yeah.
Same with your newspaper.
Yeah.
The newspaper came at a certain time or it printed at a certain time of day. Yep. And that was it till the next one.
I know.
Yeah.
So
that's wild. That's wild to think about. They had a reference to Deliverance.
Yeah.
In the hotel room. That was kind of fun. The first time you see that Blair Witch like cross wooden thing hanging in the woods,
So scary.
That was really scary. And then I already said the camera work made me a little dizzy, and then the iconic part with her face and the flashlight. Oh, and then I just said, this is kind of my last note on this, is that I said, so kind of at the end it felt like they were blaming Heather.
Yeah, and you were supposed to feel like that.
And so that was my
And
thought
she-
when you said they added a woman. I'm like, oh, do we need someone to blame it on?
Well,
so we're going
and
to add a woman?
There is a lot of controversy about that.
Is
too.
there?
And about how like she's kind of looked negatively upon because she's a woman in charge and she's so committed to her art.
Yeah.
And it made her look kind of bossy and like.
That reminded me of that Dawson's Creek when there's like the woman making the film and
yeah,
Dawson's being the same way, but they make the woman look all, I don't know. So that it didn't really hit me till the end. And I was like, oh, I see. So now we are supposed to walk away and be like, well, it was all Heather's fault.
Right. Well, and there was supposed to be a romance storyline too, but it didn't follow through.
I'm glad there wasn't.
I know. I was like, I'm so glad that didn't pan out because
yeah, and I didn't like Mike. I don't know. I know we weren't supposed to like. I mean, they did a good job making all of them a little bit unlikable because if anyone was in the position they were, especially as it went on, you would become unlikable they did because you would be hungry and tired.
You're hungry.
And scared.
I'm
and
the worst when I'm hangry. Oh my god.
Yeah, and
terrible.
like the worst of like human nature.
Yeah, the worst of you comes out in dire.
So you're
situations.
supposed to. You're not supposed to like think they're great or heroic or anything like that. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It's hard for me to give it a rating now, though, that I know all the yucky stuff because now I feel negative.
Well, I think it's okay.
It.
We have to just let the art stand alone.
Okay.
That's why I was like, I wanted to get that out of the way and then go back and remember. Because I think it's, it sucks because they were treated like crap. They did get some compensation, but a little too late.
Right.
And not what they should have gotten for what they did.
I agree with you.
But I mean, the movie in itself, I feel like, is this cultural touch point in the horror genre, especially. And it is, I mean, there's all these iconic moments. And I think for people who weren't alive then or weren't old enough to understand that you could not do this again.
Right.
That's why the sequel was crappy. The whole air of mystery surrounding it was what made it so interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Even once you knew it was fake,
right?
You were like, I can't believe we just thought that was real. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And like the collective public, y'all, like the collective public, because this was during a time, it was the last era of a time where entertainment was kind of in this, what do you call it? That word where we everybody was kind of watching the same things more so than
more
now.
mainstream, and it was not as many things to watch or ways to watch or ways, like I said, the documentary came out a week before. The average person in a week wouldn't be able to figure out that it was fake. It'd be hard for a journalist to do at that time, let alone like who have resources and time committed to it. Yeah. Was anyone ever sued for false advertising or anything like that? I mean, it didn't really like, I guess it didn't really like hurt anyone.
No, nothing that I found. I couldn't find anything about that, but I was like, that again, that could never happen today. You would never be able to say something was nonfiction. That documentary.
Did anybody, I mean, I'm sure people did, but did you in your reading find anything where the three actors were kind of like villainized?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
for pretending to be missing or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they of course you can think of all kinds of different things people had to say. And then when they were vocal about not getting compensated, people thought they were being shitty too, because they were like, oh, well, like you didn't sign any rights. You didn't have any protection.
Which I hate.
I know.
I hate, especially for young people.
Because they were in college. They were college kids.
Well, and it's like a David and Goliath. Like you're up against this like multi-billion company and like an average person who just had a check bounce at the grocery store. Like, come on. Well, it's not the same fight.
I think as humans, we want to believe in the good of other people.
Sure.
So as a young person thinking, well, okay, the likelihood of something big happening is not high, but if it is, they'll make sure I'm okay.
Of course.
You know,
I would think that.
I am even a natural born realist, erring on the side of pessimist, and I would even think that.
Sure. Well, and
in that age.
they did sign something.
They did, but it was not what it
Right.
should have been.
Right. But in their minds,
Correct.
they signed it.
Right.
Right. So,
Right.
but again, without a union or a lawyer or some sort of representative to kind of back that up,
I know.
it's nothing. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
I think I might give it a 5.
Oh my God, y'all heard it here first.
I think I'm gonna give Blair Witch Project my first 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love it, and I think it's the perfect amount of a moment in time.
Yeah.
Plus good acting / improvisation, plus scary, and I like that you don't see the witch and you don't see everything, and it's kind of like you're battling it in your brain, and it also moves quickly. Like I think it's just the perfect length. Too much longer would just be like, okay, we get it. And each scene kind of like moves quickly into the next, and the editing was really good. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5, guys.
Right, look at that.
It's here.
5. I give it a 5 too, which is not surprising, but well, yes, I give it a 4.8 because Lost Boys gets my 5. But
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I will say, I think the scariest part of this whole movie is what you don't see.
Mhm.
And it plays on the whole concept of being lost in the dark in the woods. And the boogeyman is after you.
I was thinking that when I was watching it. That like it's like even if there was no Blair Witch lore.
Right.
And you're just lost in the woods and you don't know how to get out, and day goes into day goes into day. Like that is terrifying.
Terrifying.
Let alone if you think there's a spirit out there or something after you, or, you know, like one person in their group is now missing, like what happened to them? And I think it does a good job playing on the very human things that we could maybe put ourselves in those shoes.
Oh, for real.
Getting lost or something.
Yeah.
Especially at that time. Because like you said, no, our GPS wasn't what it is today. Cell service wasn't what it was, where we could just look stuff up and figure out where we are. But technology was decent. And when they went out in there, they trusted that. They trusted that it would be no problem finding their way back out.
Well, they had a map.
Well, yeah.
Well,
until
remember
got
what
kicked
happened
into the river. But I told you, I hate Mike. What a jerk. Mike.
Well, I think you're supposed to, like, they're losing it. They're
Correct.
losing.
Because he laughs about kicking the map.
Right. They're losing it, which is going to happen. They're tired. They're hungry. They're terrified. You're going to start losing your mind. And then all this scary shit happens. And then one of them disappears, and then they hear him screaming. Like, yeah.
They did a good job on playing on like the real stuff that you could be like, I could see that happening. And then the supernatural stuff combining. And even as a watcher going, well, are they just hearing things because they haven't had enough to eat and they're tired and they're exhausted and scared? Or like, is there something they're hearing?
I know.
You know, so I just thought it was really, really did a good job. I really liked it. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. I would probably watch it again. I know. I would probably watch it again, and maybe I will.
Now, I will say this. So this is the first time you rewatched it since it came out?
Yeah, unless it was like on TV in college or something, but yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
So last year, Troy and I rewatched this because I want to say he had never seen it.
Okay.
And so we watched it, and we watched it at night with all the lights off, and it was so terrifying. It was still super terrifying.
Yeah.
This time I watched it in the daytime by myself, and it wasn't as scary. The effect, it was still good. The effect was not there. So I will rewatch it, but I'm going to give it a few years.
Okay.
Because, and I do think watching it during the day takes away some of the fun.
It does.
It really does. I really think a scary movie needs to be in the dark at night.
Totally.
It does not have the same, like,
and scary movies, effect. And this is coming from me, who has been watching them all basically this way. Scary movies aren't the same when you watch by yourself.
They're not.
I can watch some films like dramas or even comedies and really enjoy them just like on my own. But I think a scary movie is meant to be shared.
Yeah.
Because you feed off the energy of the people you're with, or their reactions or jump scares or whatever. And so when you're watching it alone, it's kind of like,
It's like,
Yeah,
me.
it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm scared. Should I be scared? Because if the person next to you seems scared, then you're more scared. So it's definitely not the same experience watching it without someone.
It's not. But I think, I did write, Heather can do some good screams.
Oh,
She's
man.
a good screamer.
She's a really good screamer.
I'm not a great screamer, but I be screaming on roller coasters. And listen, I try so hard not to because it's so bad for your voice.
Yeah.
But I can't help it. And I curse so loud on roller coasters. In fact, people, I went on that stupid Velocicoaster.
I love Velocicoaster.
No. So I'm scared of heights. Okay.
Oh.
Which makes you think I would hate roller coasters. I like them, but you have to go through the high stuff fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I've realized I don't like going upside down anymore.
Okay.
I really, if it's once or twice, like on Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios, I'm all right with that. But that fucking Velocicoaster, y'all, I promised my family, I was like, I will go on it one time. I'm standing there and I'm like, that is so high. Because it is really high.
It's very high.
So we're on this Velocicoaster. I don't know who I'm sitting next to. Well, I think it seats 4. So I was probably in the middle. Literally, I'm screaming, I fucking hate y'all. Like, I was like, I'm never going on this fucking ride again. Like screaming the whole time. The people in front of me, I could hear them laughing because I'm loud.
Yeah.
I'm screaming. My back hurt. I was like, that's it.
You're dizzy.
Guys.
So when I get scared on roller coasters, and my family knows this because they're very embarrassed by it, I just start laughing and I can't stop.
Oh, that's great.
And so I laugh really loud and maniacally, and then I'll just say random stuff.
Oh, see?
So we were on, I don't even know what it was. It might have just been Manta or something at SeaWorld. It wasn't like crazy scary or anything, but it was a roller coaster. And just, I'm laughing because once I get started, I can't stop, and then you can't breathe because you're on a roller coaster. So now I'm like, like, sounds crazy. We get to like the top, and it pauses for a second, and I just went, SeaWorld.
What?
And we like keep going, and I start laughing again, and we get off, and my kids are like, why did you scream SeaWorld? I was like, I don't know.
Well, it's like one of those when you're just in the emotions or the feeling of something and you just say stuff.
I think I was trying to break up the laughing so I could breathe.
That's hilarious.
And so I just like screamed the first thing that came to mind.
That's so funny. See, curse words come to my mind. That's what happens.
And then I just start laughing again. It's
Troy
wild.
laughs. Troy laughs on roller coasters. He's a laugher. I'm a screamer. My kids could just be like cool as cucumbers.
Yeah, just like enjoy it. Enjoy the
ride. They just be chilling.
Yeah.
They just be chilling. Not me. Then they hate sitting next to me because I am so loud and scream the whole time. They hate it. They're like, I'm not sitting with mom. Dad, you ride with mom. They hate it.
Oh, that's so
But anyway,
funny.
so she was a good screamer, and you gave this a 5.
I gave it a 5.
Amazing.
Thank you for making my spooky season Blair Witch Project.
Hey,
I love it. I love it.
I just think, again, I've said this like 4 times, but it was a moment in time.
Oh, definitely.
That you cannot repeat, and that's what makes it so interesting. So I think if you've never seen it, go watch the fake documentary first. Okay, Curse of the Blair Witch. Watch that, and keep in your brain that the general public was watching this a week before the movie came out. You could look up on IMDb difficultly because it was internet in the late 90s and see, like, if you were trying to fact check, you would see that they're listed as deceased, presumed deceased or whatever, or maybe it just said deceased. I don't know. You would believe this. And it had their quote unquote family in there. Those were actors, by the way. Their best friends and all this stuff. You would think that was real. So watch that first and keep that in your brain. Then watch the movie and think, all these people went and saw this
thinking it was real,
thinking this was real. I remember my stepbrother being like, okay, their family would never release like this footage
if they're truly missing,
right?
And we don't know.
He's
what
like, they would
to
not.
them.
And I was like, well, maybe they want it solved, or they want to let people know it, which is what the spin they put on it. They
and also they're grown adults. Like if they signed off on it, their family can't stop it,
right?
I mean, that's like, I mean, to get morbid, like the Jeffrey Dahmer, like even the series that came out. Those families of victims are super upset because they weren't even consulted. But again, commercialism, capitalism.
Well, that's a whole other.
They don't have to consult them.
I know. I don't like that. That's gross.
I think
that's real life victims.
This is at least fake.
Yeah, I mean, this is fake. That is real life, and I don't like that.
Me
so
either. I don't like it either.
But yeah. So go watch the fake documentary, then rewatch it, and let us know if you think it's good or not.
Let us know if you think it's a 5. Wow, I don't know why I said that.
SeaWorld.
So God, SeaWorld. My family's like, get out of here. Oh, you can see. I shouldn't have put that behind my ear.
We
You
have
can
wig
see.
problems.
We do. We got 99 wig problems, but okay.
But it's worth it.
But it's worth it. We love it. Well, thank you for all that amazing research, and we will see you guys back here. We got one more spooky season.
And we're going to talk about Halloween memories. I had an idea, and I'm going to say it right now so we don't forget.
Okay.
So you got a bunch of pictures, right, from your childhood when you went home?
I do.
So find some Halloween pictures.
Okay.
And we're going to bring those, and then that will lead our discussion.
Okay. I love it.
We're not doing research. We're just going to talk about
our pictures. I've got some good ones. I'll write down, even if they're not in the pictures, I've got some I'll write down.
Well, we're just going to talk about trick-or-treating in the 80s.
Okay.
And early 90s.
Or, as I say, some of mine might be early 90s.
And early 90s. That's fine. We're just going to talk about trick-or-treating. Mm-hmm. So how it's different, our memories. So bring pictures.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to do next time. It's going to be a good time.
I can't wait.
I know.
All right, good. And don't forget, we're bringing costumes for each other.
Oh, I can't. I literally cannot wait.
Next week's the one. And because we are off a week, we are actually, we'll get it to you in time for Halloween. Let's put it that way. Right? Because we're recording early next week.
I don't think it matters.
Doesn't matter? Because
it'll come out after and it'll just be memories. That's fine. Because we're talking about memories.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Remember Halloween? It was Friday. Okay,
yeah,
I like it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Keep the spooky season going even longer.
Why not, guys? Why not? Okay, sounds good. Well,
all
thanks
right, guys.
for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Generation in Between.
Bye.